Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review for December 14th, 2015. This was the aftermath show from the beating that Roman Reigns gave Triple H last night at TLC. So the show opens up with Stephanie McMahon, of course. The Authority is going to be involved. Triple H was actually, I don't know if this is legit, but they said he was in the hospital in Connecticut. She talks about what it's like to deal with the attack and how she has to explain to her daughter that daddy's not going to be coming home because he's coughing up blood in the hospital. And she's about to say that Roman is fired. And then Roman Reigns comes out so he could get told to his face. Roman gets a good pop, and when he gets in the ring, "Thank you, Roman" chants from last night return tonight. Says he does not feel bad at all for attacking Triple H. And then he goes to say, "If you're going to fire me, please do it right now." He begs her to fire him. Stephanie says that they're only thanking Roman for losing so he doesn't have to have the championship because they don't want him to have a championship. Which, in a way, she's kind of right because we want Roman Reigns to be a heel champion. Then she goes on to say that he's a disgrace to the whole WWE. And Roman goes, "I'm a disgrace? You're a disgrace. Triple H is a disgrace. Your whole family is a disgrace." Then she slaps him 8 times and says, "I'm not going to fire you because my husband told me not to. But there's a man who's on his way to the arena who might." And then she says, "That man is Vincent Kennedy McMahon." That's right, you heard it here. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the owner of WWE, returned to Raw in the first time in over a year. And then it goes to commercial, and the opening segment was over. It wasn't that long. It wasn't an hour and a half like last week. Terrible opening. So we have Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler as the first match. Dean Ambrose in his first match as Intercontinental Champion gets a huge pop from the crowd. Everybody's excited he's a champion. I'm excited he's the champion. It's a back and forth match, as expected. Dolph Ziggler is a great person to fight against for these newer guys. He's a veteran now. Dean tries a lot of submissions that aren't really noticed. Like, Dean doesn't really do that much. But whatever. He's a new champion. He's gonna reinvent himself, I guess. They both try. Dolph goes for a super kick. Dean goes for a dirty deeds. They both get reversed, and then they both go into like a pinning war where they try to pin each other every time, but it doesn't work because that's how WWE works. But what are you gonna do? Dolph then puts Dean in a sleeper hold. And then Dean gets out, and then he gets hit with a super kick. And then right after the super kick comes, Kevin Owens comes out because he's pissed off because he lost his championship from last night. He throws Dolph out of the ring, and Dolph gets the win because Kevin Owens hit him first. And then Kevin Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb on Dean. He grabs the title, holds it over him. He hits another pop-up powerbomb. And then Dolph comes in, and he attacks Owens. And then Owens doesn't like that, so he beats him down as well. Then it went to a bunch of backstage segments that weren't important. The only one that was important, I guess, was Team ECW challenging the Wyatts to a match. It didn't say what kind of match, just a match, because it was in Philly, where ECW started, where they started, so they wanted to give the Philly fans one more thing to remember ECW by. So, the next match was literally not a match. It was R-Truth versus Bo Dallas. I don't know why, but after the events that take place, you'll understand why this match happened. Now, I have literally nothing to talk about this match because as soon as the match started, they grappled, and then they cut to backstage, and they saw Vince's car pulling up and Vince coming out. And then it was like 2 minutes, and then the video cuts out, and it goes back to the ring. And Truth takes over for a little bit, and then you hear Vince's entrance music. He comes down, tells Bo and Truth to get the hell out of his ring. It says that Roman, it would be like when Roman stands in front of Vince, It's like Roman standing in front of God himself. And then he takes a seat ringside and says, we're going to let Roman sweat a little bit before I have to say what I have to say. So he sits down, and then it goes to a commercial break. And then when the camera comes back on, he gets back in the ring, and he says, Roman, why don't you come out here? And Roman does come out, but he doesn't come out to the crowd like he normally does. He does normal wrestler things and comes out to the stage. And Vince tells Roman to apologize. Roman refuses, and he says, you know what? If you're not going to apologize, I want you to get on all fours and apologize. And Roman refuses that as well. He says, you know, there used to be a time when I would beat an apology out of someone. And then he takes off his jacket because Roman's like, you're not going to beat me up. So he takes off his jacket like he's getting ready to fight. And then Sheamus comes out and says, no, you don't have to do it. It's not that I don't think you can. I want to do it. So Sheamus asks Roman to fight. And Vince says that, no. And then Sheamus says, I'm confident enough I can beat him. I'll put my WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Vince says, no. Roman then rips the mic out of Vince's hands and says, why not? I thought you had grapefruits. Now you just have small, shriveled up prunes. Again, second week in a row, he describes a man's nuts as food. Vince says, you know what? You son of a bitch, you got your match. But if you don't win the match, if you not win the match, if you don't win the championship, you're fired. And then Vince extends his hand out to shake his hand, and then he knees Roman in the tater tots. And then the segment is over. The next match was the worst match on the whole card. I'm pretty sure the whole card. Yep, it was the worst match. Okay, just looking back through my notes. It was Del Rio and Rusev versus Swagger and Ryback. Now, I understand why this match makes sense. I mean, Rusev and Ryback were having problems. Del Rio and Swagger were having problems. And since Rusev and Del Rio are the League of Nations, why not team up Swagger and Ryback? Nobody cared about the match. It was boring the whole time. I was on Twitter for the majority of it. Swagger wasn't even in the match for like... He was in the match for like, I don't know, 3 minutes. And the match was like 8. So those 5 minutes he wasn't in there, they were just We the People chanting. Eventually he comes in and he gets cheered. He puts a Patriot Lock on Rusev. Del Rio then hits a backbreaker and a super kick while the ref isn't looking. And then Rusev kicks him as well. And he pins Swagger for the win. So Swagger was probably the most loved in that whole match, and he does his job as a job. The next match was okay, cause they're young, they're new, but it was Tyler Breeze versus Neville. Right before the match, like as soon as Neville gets in the ring, right before the ref rings the bell, Miz comes out and he treats the whole thing like a movie. Like he's like quiet on the set. He's telling this crowd to act appropriately. He's like, superstars, are you ready? And then he says action, and then the bell rings. Neville takes over early. It was pretty much back and forth. It was a short match. And then Neville gets the win with a red arrow, and him and Miz fight. Like, they not fight, they argue backstage. Because Miz is trying to recruit Neville for some reason. The next match was honestly the best match of the night. Even though the main event was pretty good, then this match I have the most notes for, and I honestly think it was the best match. It was Team ECW versus the Wyatts, but it wasn't just any match. It was an Extreme Rules match. Team ECW comes out, and then the Wyatts come out. They surround the ring, and then as soon as they get in the ring, they just attack. Tommy Dreamer eventually gets out of the ring, goes for trash cans and kendo sticks like he always does. After being attacked by the Wyatts, after being attacked by the kendo sticks and trash cans and stuff, the Wyatts soon take over again, which is expected. Devon and Bubba Ray do the "Was Up" thing. I don't know the actual name for that. It's just a flying headbutt, I guess. They do the "Was Up" to Rowan, and then they get the tables. But before they can get the tables, I apologize for that noise in the background. My computer did something. But before they get the tables, Rowan then comes in and has nothing of that. He beats them up. Harper then pushes Dreamer off the apron, and as Dreamer's falling, he falls into a clothesline from Strowman. Rowan power bombs Bubba while Bubba is suplexing Harper off the top rope. So you got Rowan standing with Bubba around his, like Bubba's legs are around his neck, and Bubba has Harper in a German suplex, and they all fall. They all get slammed, and Harper lands on a chair. And then eventually, like a few minutes later, all the Wyatts are in. Rhino comes in. And he does Rhino stuff, and he takes out everybody. And Dreamer then puts a trash can on top of Luke Harper, who's hanging upside down in the corner, and he drop kicks it into his face. And while that's happening, at the same time, Bubba throws Strowman over the announce table. And as soon as he throws him over the announce table, Bray throws Bubba into the crowd, and then they start fighting in the crowd. And then right after they go to the crowd, it cuts to Luke Harper, who is about to powerbomb Tommy Dreamer through tables off the stage. But instead, Dreamer reverses and does like an attitude adjustment type thing. But it's not a normal attitude adjustment because he dives with Harper. But he does it off the table through off the stage through some tables. Not exactly sure what the move would be called. It looked just like an attitude adjustment, and I mean, I guess it could have been more like an F5, but I don't exactly know. Then it cuts back to Bray and Bubba in the crowd, and Strowman then comes out and joins, and then somehow Tommy Dreamer very quickly gets there. After just slamming himself through a table. I don't know how he got there as fast, but what am I gonna do? Strowman then grabs Dreamer and puts him in the tombstone position, like upside down, and then he decides to run as fast as he can and drives him through the barricade. Harper kicks both the Dudleys while they're in the ring, and then he gets 3D'd through a table. Rhino then goes for a gore on Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan moves out of the way. Rhino runs into his sister Abigail, and then Rowan puts Rhino on the table. And then he jumps, splashes, 1, 2, 3. Rowan gets the pin for the Wyatts, and the Wyatts win. I just noticed that, yeah, I still have the most notes for that one, but still, best match of the night. It went about 25 minutes, which was good. At least it felt like 25 minutes. It was a good match. The next was the New Day talking about their win. They come out, they're not all cheery and everything like the New Day normally are. They're like, we are really sore from last night. We have a change of heart. We don't feel like celebrating because we're sore. And they asked the Usos to come out. And the Usos come out and they say, you guys prove to us that you guys are warriors, pretty much. And then he said, you both have earned our respect. And then Usos don't do anything because, like, we don't believe you. You're probably just going to attack us. And then they say, well, this seems like a good time to bring out the Lucha Dragons. The Lucha Dragons come out, and Kofi's got the mic, and he says, Kalisto, you might be one of the toughest members of the WWE right now, and probably in history, for doing the Salito del Sol off the top of the ladder like he did last night. And Kalisto brings up, well, why did Xavier hit me with the trumpet last night? Because they played a video package of all the good things that happened, and that trumpet throw was not in there. And he's like, why was the trumpet throw not in the video package? And Xavier says that all three, that he's sorry for doing it. It was in the heat of the moment. And then he goes on to say that all three teams took the tag team division to the next level, and that they all did it for the fans. They didn't do it for themselves, they did it for the fans. And they all shake hands. It's kind of like how back in the day, the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, after all their ladder matches, they came together and like, we respect the hell out of you guys. We've been beating the shit out of each other, but we respect you. And then the Usos and the Lucha Dragons, they leave the ring. Then as soon as they hit the ground and start walking away, they completely flip their emotions. The New Day completely flip their emotions, and they start celebrating. They're like, we are the tag team champions. We're the best in the freaking world. Then the Usos and the Lucha Dragons, they get back in the ring, and they start talking. They start beating the crap out of the New Day. And then the New Day are left outside the ring. Honestly, since the Slammies are next week, next Monday, I think all 3 of the New Day should get Superstar of the Year. I feel like that's something WWE would do, but I would be okay with it. I would, honestly. Next match was shit, but it was just a match to get to the main event, I guess. It's Brie Bella and Alicia Fox versus Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Don't know why they're having Charlotte and Becky Lynch team if they're having problems. It's confusing. Brie takes her over early against Charlotte. She gets in some yes kicks. Becky then comes in and she takes over. Becky throws, she Irish whips Alicia into the ropes, and while she's doing that, the ref is turned around. Ric Flair trips Alicia. Becky wasn't paying attention. Becky was turned around to see what the ref was doing when she threw her, and she didn't see Ric Flair interfere. And then she just thought she fell. She puts in the disarmer for the win. Becky gets a win on Raw. The next match was the main event, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Roman Reigns must win this match. He must win the title. He can win by disqualification. But if he doesn't win that title, he gets fired. Vince McMahon himself is sitting at ringside to watch the match. But before that, it shows us some backstage footage of him talking to Rusev, Del Rio, and Sheamus, the League of Nations. I don't know where King Barrett is. He just hasn't been showing up, I guess. I don't know why. Doesn't make sense. I don't think he's hurt. They haven't said anything. But yeah, Barrett wasn't there last night. He wasn't there tonight. I don't honestly know. But, so, Sheamus comes out first, like always. Roman comes out through the crowd, and him and Vince have a moment. As soon as the bell rings, Roman goes straight into a beatdown. Just taking no remorse, I guess. And then Sheamus eventually slams Roman onto the announce table. Goes to commercial break. When he comes back, Sheamus has got him in the headlock, and then Roman gets out, and he goes, he takes over. He hits a drive-by. He Samoa drops Sheamus from the second rope. 1, 2, 2 count. Roman then reverses a white noise into a slam. 1, 2, kick out. After that, Sheamus gets up, and Roman goes for a Superman punch, but Sheamus reverses it into a slam. 1, 2, kick out. And after that, Let's Go Roman chants start to fill the arena. Roman hits Sheamus with a headbutt. He hits a Superman punch, and Vince is arguing with the ref. Roman hits a Superman punch. 1, 2. Right before the ref's hand hits 3, Vince pulls ref out of the ring and says, "You're not doing this. He's not winning. I hope you know that." Sheamus then hits a white noise, and somehow Roman Reigns kicks out of that at 2. Del Rio and Rusev rush to the ring. Roman attacks them. While the ref isn't looking, Rusev does kick Roman, but Roman eventually gets his revenge. Roman Superman punches Rusev. He Superman punches Sheamus, and Vince is still arguing with the ref, so he Superman punches Vince. Sheamus then hits a brogue kick. 1, 2, kick out. Sheamus then gets in the corner of the ring for another brogue kick, and right as he starts running, Roman hits him with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns does not get fired, and he is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, this was probably the best way to get him the championship after missing such a great opportunity at Survivor Series to turn him heel on Dean Ambrose. Because now we have... it's not just Roman versus Triple H. It's Roman versus the whole McMahon, the whole WWE, pretty much. He, in their eyes, is the bad guy. So, I mean, technically, he's a heel to them. Loved by the fans now. The fans went crazy when he won. They were exciting. It was a good show. I was excited with Raw this week. It was a good show. It wasn't shit. Like everything since Seth Rollins was gone. Even when Seth Rollins was here, it was still shit. But it's been really, really shit since he's been gone. But yeah, best show since he's been gone for sure. Next week is I might actually do a SmackDown review, maybe, because next week we have the Slammies on Monday, SmackDown's live on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we have Tribute to the Troops. I will definitely be doing a review of Tribute to the Troops. I may do SmackDown because it's live. The only reason I don't do it is because it's not live, and it's because it comes out 2 days later, and I don't even watch it really, because I just look on the internet and read the spoilers, because that's the bad thing about social media and WWE. But yeah, it was a good show, really good show. We're gonna wrap up here though. I want to thank all of you guys. I dropped down from 129 to 126 subscribers, and then last night, all in the same day, like in the same day, I dropped from 129 to 126, and then right as I finished recording my TLC review, I hit 132. Don't know why, don't know how, but I want to thank you guys. I knew we could do it. I knew we weren't going to be stuck at 129 forever. It took a while, took like 2 months, but we got to 132, and I want to thank you guys. You guys mean a lot to me. We're not stopping. We're not stopping from here. We're getting 1,000 by the end of 2016. By December 31st, 2016, I will have at least 1,000 subscribers. I'm saying this right now. And if not, we're going to be damn well close. But we're not going to stop until we do. We're not going to stop until we have 100,000. But the 100,000 can wait. I just want 1,000 right now, so I know I can do it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like. Tell your friends if you like what you're watching. Share it with them, and don't forget to subscribe. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Camp Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.